Happy Friday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody's excited for the weekend. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. But before we get started, y'all, you know what I'm going to ask. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We just hit 3,200 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. But still, we got 60% of people that watch these videos that are not subscribed. Come on, guys. Just click that button. Helps me out a lot. Would really appreciate that. Now, look, I want to be here with great news. Unfortunately not. The Miami Heat lose a heartbreaker last night to the Dallas Mavericks, 108-114. And I got to say, you guys, it's my fault. It's honestly my fault why we lost last night. And I know people are thinking, what do you mean? I have this thing that's called funny luck. My wife tells me this all the time. I don't have good luck. I don't have bad luck. I have funny luck. The most random stuff always happens to me when I want something to turn out the right way. I'm sure it happens to a lot of you, but when you live in your own life, it just makes you laugh. So check this out. I was making some music last night, so I wasn't able to catch the game. I was watching like highlights. I was, keeping up with the score. So when I got home, it was 4 minutes left in the third quarter. 3 minutes and 53 seconds to be precise. So I open up DirecTV and I see that the Miami Heat are winning by 1 point, 101-100. Last time I checked the score, we were down by 8, ending the third quarter. So I'm like, yes, I get to watch the last 4 minutes of the game. I turn it on. I'm like, all right, let's see the Heat go. And then the Mavericks go like on an 8-0 run. 8-0 run with a Luka Doncic 3. And then Dante Exum hits a big shot in the paint that puts Dallas up by 8 with less than a minute left. And I'm like, yeah, my bad, Heat fans. My fault. So hope you guys laughed on that one. Look, man, when we lose, I always try to find the positives in the game, you guys. And last night, we definitely saw a few of them. Now, first and foremost, we are continuing to see that this starting backcourt of Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson works. Ladies and gentlemen, with Duncan Robinson as the starting shooting guard, we are 18-7 in the season. Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier in the backcourt together have the best record this season for any backcourt that's been put together by the Miami Heat's roster. Better than Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro, better than Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier, better than Tyler Herro and Kyle Lowry. Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier work. And last night you saw it. Because Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo both had very sluggish games. Both score 14 points. Jimmy only takes 12 shots. He goes 6 for 12. Bam only takes 14 shots, goes 5 for 14. Dead games. They both combined for 28 points. Luka Doncic blew them both out. So instead of getting blown out last night, because when you think your two stars give a game like this, it should be over. No. Terry Rozier, 27 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 10 for 17 shooting. Duncan Robinson, 19 points, 7 for 10 for the field, 5 for 8 from the three-point line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Ladies and gentlemen, Duncan and Terry Rozier work. Now, I understand they were both negatives out there. This is something that we need to continue to isolate moving forward. But it's like I've said before, you guys, and I've been saying this for months now, and I think it's funny that a lot of different Miami Heat outlets are talking about it now, but we know what the true answer is. When Tyler Herro comes back from injury, whenever the hell that is, he needs to be the sixth man off the bench. We are seeing an optimal lineup out here, ladies and gentlemen. I called this lineup over 2 months ago. Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Nikola Jovic. Now, yes, Nikola Jovic didn't have a great game last night. He gives you 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 for 6 from the field. But you're going to get nights like this from Nikola Jovic. But what does he give you? He gives you size presence. He gives you a guy that can hit the three-point shot. And with Bam Adebayo and Nikola Jovic starting out there, this is probably the only team in the NBA that has a power forward and center that can lead the fast breaks on their own. That's going to be huge going into the playoffs. So I understand it wasn't the greatest game from Jovic. I know he had a little bit of foul trouble, but still, It's the best way moving forward, my opinion. You have Tyler as the sixth man coming off for basically almost anyone who needs to come off the bench, who needs to go to the bench, excuse me. You have Caleb Martin and Jaime Jaquez. And again, last night, you guys, they show that they're your Swiss Army knives coming off the bench. 13 points by Caleb Martin, 13 points by Jaime Jaquez. This is why we so need Kevin Love and Tyler Herro back out there. Because the other two guys coming off the bench, Haywood Highsmith and Thomas Bryant, give you diddly. They're both negatives out there. Both of them give you 2 points. It's not really working good. The optimal lineup, like I've said many times before, this starting five with Caleb Martin, Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Herro, and Kevin Love. That is your optimal 9-man rotation moving forward. You can keep DeLon Wright, Haywood Highsmith to give you defensive presence coming off the bench. So if you're playing Milwaukee, if you're playing Boston, if you're playing New York with those deadly point guards that they have, you can throw a Haywood Highsmith on them. You can throw a DeLon Wright on them and tell them, defend them for 5 to 8 minutes and just disrupt them. That's what I love about this roster. We are a deep team, ladies and gentlemen. No, we don't have Giannis Antetokounmpo. No, we don't have a Brook Lopez next to Bam Adebayo. But what we have is enough. Now, tonight we got the OKC Thunder. The second night of a back-to-back. This one's going to be tougher. I wanted to win last night against Dallas because tonight, this game was going to be extremely difficult. But I have full confidence in this Miami Heat roster. I know we can go out there against this young team in OKC and we can do business. But we just need our guys to step up. Second night of a back-to-back, I don't know what to expect from Jimmy Butler, but we need Jaime Jaquez, Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, and Bam Adebayo to do their thing. I know that we can get this done. Now, I want to go to a different little topic, you guys. I want to talk about something a little bit different, and I want to get your opinion on it. Recently, there was a podcast from Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. You know, they have their own podcast. They're Boston Celtics legends. You know, they're big-time enemies against the Miami Heat. But they said something in their podcast very recently that I want to talk to you guys about, and I want to get your opinion on. Because as we know, this whole Golden State Warriors dynasty is getting ready to implode. This Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson trio isn't what it used to be. And as we all know, the odd man out is Klay Thompson, who's under a contract year. Now, they were talking about in their podcast bringing up what Ray Allen did to them by leaving them and joining the Miami Heat for less money to win a championship. Now, Klay Thompson is kind of at that point in his career as well. He's 34 years old. He's averaging 17 points a game. He's given you some great games this season, but you're seeing that he's lost a step. He's not what he used to be. He has 4 NBA championships already. Does Klay Thompson want to continue to solidify his greatness in the NBA? What does Klay Thompson truly want? Now, this is funny because what they said, and I'll read this quote by quote, and I want to see what you guys think. They basically said, it's a whole thing about Ray Allen. And starting the quote. We just lost to Miami. By the way, Pierce said after discussing how close he and Allen were. Paul Pierce revealed that the two hung out with their families and kids together. Paul Pierce says, all right, we just need to regroup. Get a couple more young dudes, and we're going to re-sign Ray. We're going to stay aligned with our contracts and finish this thing out together. And by the way, I hope y'all bring Klay Thompson back. Y'all need to finish this together. I hope that's an example of how we win. And y'all don't do that. End quote. So that doesn't really mean anything that he's linked and rumored to the Miami Heat. However, about a month ago, Nick Wright was on his podcast. I shortly mentioned this, you guys, but Nick Wright was on his podcast talking about how he feels that the Miami Heat is a destination for Klay Thompson. And when Klay Thompson becomes a free agent, and if he does not re-sign with the Golden State Warriors, you guys, he may be available for the Miami Heat. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are probably screaming at this screen right now saying there's no way that the Heat can bring Klay Thompson to the Miami Heat. What money? Exactly. The Miami Heat don't have the salary cap flexibility to re-sign Klay. He turned down a 2-year, $45 million contract extension from the Golden State Warriors. So how would the Miami Heat sign Klay Thompson? Well, there's a few reasons. Well, there's a few ways, excuse me. It all depends on how the Golden State Warriors finish this season out. If they don't make the playoffs, if Klay Thompson gets scrutinized, I would not be surprised that if Klay Thompson signs with the Miami Heat on a 1-year biannual contract for $5 million as a prove-it-to-me deal. Now, for those of you that are going to be going crazy on my channel saying there's no way he would take that, think of the Bruce Brown effect. Bruce Brown was at the Denver Nuggets last season. He had one good game in the NBA Finals, and he got a 2-year, $40 million contract. Klay Thompson is at a different level than Bruce Brown. Imagine if Klay Thompson signs with the Miami Heat, you guys, for a biannual exception contract, comes off the bench as the Miami Heat six-man, the true six-man that we need, accepts that role, helps the Miami Heat win the 2025 NBA championship. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, even at 35 years old, when you win a championship, Klay Thompson is still going to be revered and valued high. He's going to get a big contract. He may get a 3-year, $100 million contract. I know I'm over exaggerating, but you guys never know. This NBA system is different. The way teams just throw out money to players is ridiculous. Now, there is another option. If the Miami Heat can't do that, well, then there's always a sign and trade. And who can you sign and trade for? Well, there's one guy in the Miami Heat that's not been consistent. There's one guy in the Miami Heat that makes oodles of money, and there's one guy in the Miami Heat that you can make a trade like that work. Tyler Herro. Now, I know I'm crazy. Tyler Herro is going to be 24 years old. Why the hell would you trade a 24-year-old Tyler Herro for Klay Thompson? Well, a few reasons. We're seeing that Tyler Herro with this specific Miami Heat team doesn't really work. Now, I understand. He's been injured a lot. We haven't had a full playoffs with Tyler Herro, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. And I hope that this playoff stretch, you guys, is the year that we finally see it. I hope that Tyler Herro breaks out, shows that dog that he had in 2020, and helps the Miami Heat win the championship. And all of these rumors go to bed. I want that. I don't want to trade Tyler Herro. But facts are facts. Reality is reality. And as much as I love this Miami Heat team, I will call them out on their BS. The fact that Pat Riley is coming down from his office and telling Eric Spoelstra that he has to start Tyler Herro because of the money that they gave him. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I truly feel is going on. So Eric Spoelstra kind of has to start Tyler Herro when we know that Tyler Herro's optimal position on this team is being the sixth man. The last time that Tyler Herro was the sixth man on this roster, we were the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And before that, we made an NBA Finals run with Tyler Herro in 2020. But ever since Tyler Herro's been the starter of this team, it just doesn't work. I'm not saying that Tyler Herro's a bad player. I'm saying that with this particular roster, with Bam Adebayo, with Jimmy Butler, with Terry Rozier, it doesn't work with Tyler starting. It's better with him coming off the bench. We don't talk about Duncan Robinson a lot, except with how great he does. But we don't talk about the effect that Duncan Robinson has coming off the bench versus starting. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. I don't know what it is. But when Duncan Robinson starts with this team with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and Terry Rozier, it's better. He gets his shots off better. He gets to play his own game. He doesn't have to come off the bench and just be one of those stand-up guys. He gets to run around, do his whole Richard Hamilton thing, and get his shot. I love Duncan. I want Tyler Herro to come off the bench, not only because it's Tyler's optimal position with this team, but also because Duncan Robinson is a better starting shooting guard on this roster than Tyler. Because when Tyler comes off the bench for Rozier or Duncan, Tyler's going to get to play his game against second unit players. He's going to dominate them. That's the argument that I've been making. So if Tyler Herro does not want to do that, I understand. He wants to be an all-star. He wants to be an all-NBA player. He's 24 years old. He's a young guy. So you send him to the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry. Allow him to be the new Klay Thompson there. His game will evolve. You trade Klay Thompson here, which honestly, you guys, may just be for 1 or 2 years, which is enough for Jimmy Butler's prime. Right now, it's about winning an NBA championship. I understand that Klay Thompson is older, but we already have our future. We have Bam, we have Jaime Jaquez, we have Nikola Jovic, and we have Duncan Robinson. Our future is set. Nikola Jovic, Bam, and Jaime Jaquez are the future. I'm willing to trade Tyler Herro if it gives us 1 or 2 things. One, the obvious choice, a big man. A big man who can play center or power forward next to Bam that can space the floor and hit the 3. But we already have that with Nikola Jovic. So if you trade Tyler Herro, especially if you lose Caleb Martin in the offseason, because you know Caleb's going to want that back. So you lose a Swiss Army knife. So if you take Tyler, trade him for Klay Thompson, who will accept that 6-man role. You have Klay Thompson and Jaime Jaquez coming off the bench together next season. Or you can start Jaime Jaquez, but you keep this roster intact. Bam, Jovic, Jimmy, Duncan, Rozier, with Klay Thompson, Jaime Jaquez, Kevin Love, or another backup center coming off the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, that 8-man rotation, scary as hell. So I want to hear from you, Heat fans. What do you think about the possibility of bringing Klay Thompson here? Do you think that there's even a slight chance that the Miami Heat can bring him on a small biannual exception on a prove himself deal? Or do you think that the Miami Heat would be open to trading Klay Thompson for Tyler Herro? Is it a stupid trade? Probably. But is it a trade that helps you win a championship? It does. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what your honest opinion is, you guys. Let me know about tonight against OKC. Do you think the Heat can get that dub? Don't forget to like the video, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go.